sorry, I got a phone call and my thing cut out. I'm gonna have to cut that together. Just wonderful. Anyway, I even made up a decal for my car. It says, it's got a picture of Patty, and it says R.I.P. my baby girl, Patty Puppy, and the day that she died. And it's just rough, you know, to think about. I know it sounds cruel, but it almost feels like I'm replacing her, even thinking about getting another dog, because there will never be another one like her. There won't, you know. And, you know, my sister's got a dog now, and my dad's got his dog, and my mom's got his dog, and I still love Willie. Willie's still my baby every time I go to see him, but it's not the same. You know, Willie wasn't around as long as Patty was. I mean, he's getting up there. He's getting up in his old age. He's getting there. But Patty was my world. And it's really, some days it's really hard to enjoy life knowing that I'm not waking up and seeing her when I walk out of my room. It's just rough. And it's rough going home. I visit my mom and dad occasionally, but I try not to think about it while I'm there because it hurts so bad. Because that's where she died, you know, that's where she got sick, that's where all my memories are, and it's hard going back to the place where she was at. You know, it's rough. It's rough coming back up to Newland, period. There's just so many good and bad memories of living in Newland that it's just really hard to get up to Newland. I mean, I still visit Mindy while I'm up occasionally. My car kind of broke down last weekend, so I couldn't come see her because I was planning on it. And then this weekend, I just was Ubering and doing different things and just didn't have the time. But I do come and visit her, but it's just hard. It's just been hard to find happiness and strength to keep going. Because, you know, that dog, she just was my world. And that was where my true happiness lied. It really did. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my job. I love working with horses. But to not have a happiness as my dog did, it's just really hard for me to be happy right now. You know, I've had so much death in my past couple of years that it's just rough, you know, between my grandpa and then my grandma dying and then my dog. It's hard to keep going, but I know that the Lord is watching out for me and He keeps me safe. And I know that He wants me to be happy, and I'm trying to be happy. But it's just rough, you know. Some days it's rougher than others. I mean, I had a mental breakdown not too long ago, and I was just so angry. I was just like, why did He take her? You know, like, why did He take her from me? Like, that was my little girl, you know. I was just so angry and just wanted answers. It felt good to get it out, but some days I just don't know why. I mean, I knew she was old, but it was just too soon. You know, I knew the day was coming where she was gonna pass, and I just didn't want to accept the fact that she was gone, you know, that she was leaving me. And then the day came out of nowhere that I knew she was dying. And it just didn't feel real. Some days it still don't feel real. Some days I go home and I still expect Patty to be there. You know, it's just rough. My hair's a mess, I'm sorry. But I miss my old friends. I miss the people that I used to work with. I miss how things used to be. I still keep in contact with a couple of them, but a lot of them has unfriended me and won't even talk to me. So that hurts a little bit more that, you know, we worked together for a while and they won't even talk to me now. And that just shows that even though you work together, they just don't care about you. You know, because when we worked together, we were a family at the treasure box. You know, we talked to each other every day, you know, and we were supposed to be a family. And then when everything fell apart and I got another job and they quit and moved on, I haven't heard from them since, and most of them unfriended me on Facebook. And I haven't done a single thing to these people. I've been the nicest I could be, but they didn't care. That makes it even harder to know that you rely on people to be there for you and they just turn their back on you because their whole world fell apart. It was all about them. And to know that they didn't care just hurt, because we were supposed to rely on each other and be there for each other. Even if our worlds fall apart, we were supposed to be there for each other, and they didn't care. I mean, I was shocked when I found out what they were doing, because I never would have suspected them to do what they did. And to find out, to come into work and have a drug dog come through the thrift store looking for drugs. At first I was like, there's no way there are drugs in this store. You know, we are all clean, you know, all of us. And then they found something. And it was really shocking to me to know that there was drugs and alcohol on the premises where we work with disability kids every day. You know, some of these kids that we work with can't even dress and bathe themselves. We have to bathe them. You know, they don't have the mental capacity to do that kind of stuff. And for them, if they would have found that, they could have gotten really sick or really hurt. You know, it wasn't nothing bad. The drugs were not bad. It was marijuana. I'm going to be honest with you. It was marijuana. And to some people, that's a medicinal herb that people use. But imagine if you have a disability kid that can't dress, can't think for himself, can't shower or brush his teeth, and gets a hold of something like that or alcohol. What would happen to that kid? You know, because these kids don't know any better. These young adults that have these disabilities, they don't know any better. You know, they don't. And I was really shocked to know that the people that I worked with did that every day while they were there. Because I thought, you know, when I got the job, I went over the rules. You can't do that stuff. That's why I never did it when I was there. I never did it at all, because, you know, I was still living at home and living at Mindy's and wasn't allowed to. But I never did marijuana. I never did any type of drugs. Never smoked. When I wasn't at work, I would occasionally drink, but I would never do it at work. I was always sober. And I know some of the other ones were sober too. I know one or two of them that were sober. But to know that the people that I worked with would do that stuff and hide it at work, I was just shocked. I was too stunned to speak. I tried to stand up for him, but when the new boss came through and he asked why was it there in the first place, you know, what if I was like, Well, he said I had stood up for them, and I was like, well, maybe they accidentally, got it in a donation and was gonna throw it away. And he was like, well, why was it in the front? I had no words. Because, people sometimes they'll donate trash and stuff that we don't use. We can't take food, we can't take trash, we can't take dirty, disgusting clothes or anything like that. That's can't take it because it won't sell, for one, and two, it's just disgusting. But to know that was going on and I had no clue, I was just too stunned to speak. I mean, of course I cried, because the whole world had fallen, because that was our family. A lot of them quit that day because they wanted to drug test us, and I knew I was going to pass it. My dad's a police officer. I don't do stuff like that. I don't have nothing in my system that's going to be like, oh no, you can't get a job. My dad's a police officer. He'd literally shoot me and bury me in the backyard and say, oh, well, she did something she wasn't supposed to, my dad's a police officer. I know better than to do that kind of stuff while I'm at work. I know better. You're there to work. You're not there to goof off. You're there to get paid and to help people. Don't do stupid stuff. I knew better, and it was just, I stayed a little while after that, but the other two managers that were there, hated me. I mean, I was sick as a dog one day and I still came into work and they made me mop the store and sweep it by myself. Yeah, it's like, I'm sick as a dog. I could go home, but y'all are gonna make me sweep the floor. Yeah. And I left. I mean, I put in my 2-week notice to leave, but then they wanted me to stay, so I stayed on, but it didn't get any better, so I left. Didn't put in a 2-week notice or anything, I left. So I went to Ingles and worked there for a little while until I got kicked out of Mindy's and had to go somewhere else. So I've been around a lot, but now we are living in Bluff City in Tennessee, and I have a job working at horses, and I love it. It's rough working. It's tough work. It's not easy work like working in a fast food place or in a store. It's rough on your body. It really is. Because by Monday evening, I'm ready to go home and lay down. Take a nice hot shower and lay down. That's about all I want to do. I've been off the past 3 days and I go back tomorrow. I'm hoping this weekend will be okay. The last weekend was, so I'm hoping this one will be too. But my boyfriend is going to see his family Saturday. He'll be gone for a while. And I need some serious beach therapy. So I'm thinking when I get paid, Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm going to hit the beach. There's one about 5 hours away from where I'm staying at. And I might hit that up just to get away and hit beach therapy, When you're at the beach, you're just calm and peaceful and it's just serene and you don't want to leave, but I need some serious beach therapy. Hoping I'll get paid Tuesday and then I can go. I really don't want to go alone. I'm going to ask a friend if she can go with me, and if she can't go, then I guess I'm going to the beach by myself. But I don't know what else to talk about. I wanted to update you guys. I will say this. I do miss the simple days. There's no taxes and bills and stuff. But at the same time, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Because now I have a car and I know what being adult's life like. It's not fun when you have to pay bills. But you can still make life fun, miss my friends, a lot of them. how you leave a job that you've been there, because I was working at Yellow Mountain Enterprises for almost 4 years, it feels like, and then I started working at the thrift store, so I knew these people a while. And it's crazy when, you know, you leave the place and you get another job, you lose contact with people and people don't text you back. Like, you lose contact. You just get so busy, wrapped up in your life, that you just don't talk to anybody anymore. I still try to contact my friends, whether they text me back or not. I actually got in contact with one of my friends that left before everything fell apart at the thrift store. And she still cracks me up to this day, because she called me a very funny name the other day on Valentine's Day, and it just cracked me up. I told her, I was like, I mainly miss you, my squishy, chocolatey, marshmallow covered strawberry. And I think she called me her peanut butter bear, squishy pooey, something bear. We always, when we were there, I would always get there early and she would always be there, and we'd always banter back and forth, just calling each other the craziest names. And I was just like, we both have ADHD, so of course, you know, we clicked immediately, and I love her to death, and I gotta go see her. I gotta go see her, because I miss her. I try to make trips to go see my friends that don't live here anymore. When I was working up at Lowe's Foods, I had a friend that I used to visit all the time, you know, because we worked together, and I gotta go visit her, but she lives in Texas, so that's a trip. That's a trip. And then I have one in Georgia that I've been friends with since high school. I visited her a while back when I was still at Texas Roadhouse. Got one that lives in Knoxville. Might go see her soon. I got friends all over the place. Most of them still live in Avery County, but a lot of them just moved around, you know. But that's all I've got to say for now. I will try to keep you updated as best as I can. So stay tuned.